Hi, I'm Carol Jacobanis. I was just interviewed by Keith Andrew, and it was great. He was such a pleasure to talk to. What a great interview. Go, Keith.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Keith Andrew Network. I'm here with Carol Jacobanis. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thanks so much for inviting me.
No, it's a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest. For people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. Is to prove to them to still amount to something. So hashtag break the labels. Don't mind me, I just got done with doing another interview, and probably this is a good time to take some a drink of water. But like I said, I'm here as the beautiful and talented Jacobanis, and let's get started. I try to make every episode different, so apparently I'm doing a good... with my disability, I sound like Porky Pig. I'm doing a good job of that.
You are. And it's really admirable and inspiring.
No, I appreciate that. Now, the first easy question I was going to ask you is, how was life growing up, and were you born and raised in New York?
Not at all. I was born in New Jersey and lived there for just till I was 5. And we moved to Pennsylvania for 2 years and then to Southern California. So I mostly grew up in Southern California.
Oh, nice.
And I went to UCLA, and then I went to England for a few years, and then I moved to New York. So I didn't move to New York till I was out of college and actually done with my secondary degree.
Oh, that's amazing. Congrats on that.
Thank you. It was a nice journey.
Do you have any fond memories of UCLA going to your college years?
Absolutely. UCLA, especially the sculpture gardens around there, the great classes, the professors, the grounds were really beautiful. And then I was at Oxford for 1 year while I was at UCLA, while I was doing my undergraduate, and that was just magical. It's just another world, and it sort of exists. In some ways, it's at the cutting edge of learning and education in whatever field, but it's also in this old bubble that it's like time stopped there.
No, it's really great. I always heard good things about it, but I've never been there.
Oh, it's beautiful. Really beautiful.
And in fact, it's kind of funny we should talk about California real fast. On behalf of the Keith Andrew Network, our hearts and prayers go out to those who are affected by the big earthquake yesterday.
Absolutely.
I always wanted to go to California, but at the same time, I don't want to be on God's Etch-a-Sketch.
I've been in an earthquake in California, but for the longest time, the largest earthquake I'd ever been in was in Pennsylvania. So you never know.
And that's the scary thing is, everyone's like, oh, well, you're safe where you are because I'm in New York. Oh, you're safe where you are. But yet, Washington, D.C. is on a fault line. There's a couple other places that have a fault line. I'm from New York area and Chester, where I'm near. And they got hit by a tiny earthquake. So, that can happen wherever you go.
Right.
Hey, global warming, right?
Weather is unpredictable.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you, for people who want to know, you are a professional actor.
Yep.
You're a professional voiceover.
Yep.
And you're a professional writer.
Yes.
So the very first thing I'm going to ask you, because there's 3 of them that really jump out at me, And what was the very first thing you did? Was it acting? Was it doing voiceovers? Or was it even writing? What was the very first thing that you did?
Professionally, I would say acting, but I've always written. Writing has always been part of my life, and it always ended up being some part of my non-acting survival jobs along the way. So writing has always been in there somewhere. I've only recently started using that for more creative projects. I'm working on a novel right now based on a true story that's been pretty exciting and a long journey. But acting came first. Voiceover came because of being part of that, and writing has always been part of the mix.
No, absolutely. And the second question I was going to ask you is, have you ever thought about, or would you ever be interested in being a ghostwriter?
I've helped other authors that haven't truly ghostwritten. And in a sense, now, not exactly ghostwriting, but the novel I'm working on now, I'm writing with my husband, and it's based on his own life, his past experiences. So it feels a little bit like ghosting his story. And I do have friends who ghostwrite, but I think the way I'm working now, which is more collaborative and not just taking the project and doing it for somebody else, that's more appealing to me.
Well, if you're interested, I would love to hire you. Help me ghostwrite my story.
Oh, how exciting.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said that's very exciting.
It is. And a lot of people are saying, oh, I should write a book, but I don't feel like I accomplish a lot. I mean, yes, I accomplish minor, things here and there, but I don't actually feel like I accomplish something extensive. Like, I'm going to be on TV, having a brain fart. I'm going to be on... I do that to people too. I make them have brain farts. But now I'm giving myself one. But July 15th, I'm going to be interviewed in the Manhattan neighborhood of broadcasting. This guy has his own show about disabilities. And I'm like, all right, would you like to interview me? And also he said he was talking about doing a reality show and doing a documentary. I'm like, okay, I would love to be part of that. But I'm not just going to write a book saying, hey, I got on TV for the first time to write a book. I want to do that like 5 or 10 more times and, I'll be on Fox News, CNN, and all these other great things, and get my own studio like you have. Then saying, what am I going to... Because I wrote a book. I did. I wrote a book as a big joke that I did. Because I told Exuberus, can you read it? Yes. Is it readable? Yes. All right. So I said, push it through. Because I was jealous of my brother, because he wrote a book and said, well, if you can do it, I can do it too. So they published my book.
Wow.
If it was meant to be a joke, then it would be funny, but it wasn't supposed to be. I'll give you an example I made. My mom went to community college.
Uh-huh.
Instead of saying my mom went to community college, it said, my mom went to comedy college.
Uh-huh.
And instead of saying I was born on Long Island, it says I was raised on Long, and instead of Long Island, it was Long Land. Me come from Long Land, land by water. And, I mean, if it's meant to be a joke, it's a learning experience.
Absolutely. And so now you've already written one book, plus you have this show, which, if I heard you right at the top of this interview, you said it's the 608th episode. That's amazing. I think it sounds like your story of getting the idea for this show, doing the first episode, creating the whole thing, contacting people, and what you've grown it into, I think that's amazing. And that's an accomplishment, a big accomplishment.
No, it is, but I just feel like it's something in it. I'm missing something. A lot of people talk about climbing that ladder, chasing the brass ring, I feel like I have a brass ring and it's golden, but it's slowly turning to brown because I'm slowly missing something that it isn't connected. My brother says this to me, it pisses me off. You've been doing your show for, what is it, 6.5 years? If it hasn't taken off, it's not going to go anywhere. It's like, thanks a lot. And I've been doing this myself.
Yeah.
So,
and the question is, what do you want out of it, and what's meant by taking off? I mean, you want to talk to people about their careers and their lives, right? And through that, demonstrate that people with disabilities can do whatever they want, like have an interview show and a talk show. Right. So doing that, I don't know, I'm not sure what your brother's on about.
I have no idea. And then the other...
we can trust him on that.
And the other thing about that is that I want to become famous because I read and learn at a 5th grade level. I have ADD. I have ADD HD. Legally blind without my glasses. I read and learn at a 5th grade level. And I'm on the spectrum of being retarded. So I was never able to go to college. So doing this talk show, it's my way of saying, hey, I never went to college. I don't have a bachelor's or BA. But look at what I'm able to accomplish. And this, I really feel strongly about this. This feels like an opportunity for me to open a door somehow.
Yeah. Well, then that's what you got to listen to, because if you're knowing inside you, if you, like you said, you feel strongly about that, that means you know it to be true on some level. So that's what you got to listen to. Any actor will know this, because I don't think any actor goes into that field and gets all like, what a good idea. Of course you should be an actor. Here's your first job. Here's your next job. Great. You've made it. You're done. No. Every single time, almost every day, certainly every month, it's a question. It's no, but I love, this is really hard, but I love it. I'm doing it because the experience of bringing a character to life, of exchanging that energy with other people, of creating something together, and of telling stories and making them real experiences for other people, that's so wonderful, and that's what I want to do. So that's what I feel strongly about. So I do it in spite of, not making enough money, or, you're not in big movies, you're not whatever. They say, well, I can't think about that. I can only think about, this is what I want to do. I'm going to keep doing it, and I keep finding ways to do it. And it sounds like you're on the same path in a different field.
No, absolutely. Hey, if you ever want to help me, I can help you in any way. Maybe we can cross-promote or something.
Absolutely.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, like I said in my last interview too, this is trying to cater more to the people with disabilities. The first thing I'm going to ask you is social media. Well, actually, before we get to the disabilities, let's go to my other question. Social media. Can social media make you or break you with everything you accomplish in your life? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, whatever it is. And then we get to the disability parts after this. Do you think your influencers or your followers, do you think they help you get an acting role? Because you said, as I mentioned, you're an actor, professional voiceover actor, and a professional writer. Anyone can write, to be honest with you. But to be a professional voiceover actor and a voiceover professional, your numbers really matter to your fans or to the people who listen to you. So does that strongly impact your career, saying, hey, look at what I did. Do I have what it takes?
Speaking for myself, I am not great with social media. It's not something I take too naturally. I do not like to put myself forward and be like, hey, look at me, look at me. So there are ways to use it even if you're not naturally like that. I try to be, I only use it in a limited way, but I try to be generous about it. Like, it's hopefully it's not just about, oh, me. It's also about, oh, this might be interesting to you, and this might help you, and oh, hey, look, my friends just did this, and you should know about it. Some people are great with social media, and they really build a following, and it can make a difference, especially in on-camera commercial and print work. Sometimes they do want to know how many followers you have on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, because they're going to hope that your followers will check out their campaign.
Yeah.
For me, it hasn't been that much of an impact because, again, I'm not that great at building a following, but I definitely have found that it's very, very useful in building community and finding resources and having places where you can go when you're stuck with something in your particular field. Like when I have a voiceover question, I know exactly the 2 primary groups or 3 primary groups on Facebook I'll go to ask that question, and I know I have resources there. So it's great that way. Some people are much better at it than I am.
That's true. Just one of my friends who I interviewed, it's like, oh, well, I can help you get a couple thousand. You just have to pay this person. No, I don't want any spam bots, because I tried that with Facebook, and they keep freaking asking me for money. It's really annoying. No, you still owe us $2. I'm not paying you the $2. Go away. Because I paid them, then I canceled it afterwards. And they're like, well, you still owe us the $2. It's $2. You make billions of dollars. You don't freaking need it from me. Go away. And the thing was, when I paid them, I was like, hundreds. And as soon as I canceled the money, my numbers started to drop, and they froze the account and said, you know what, I'm going to do it over, and I'm going to approach, well, just like you, I'm going to approach every single person, introduce myself, no shortcuts, no bitching, no complaining, no whining, no what about me. If you want something, get off your ass and do it. And that's motivation of myself. You know, for the longest time, I was using my disability as a crutch. Oh, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that. But like a boomerang, as it comes back to you, it's got to whack you upside the head and say, you know what? When now you got to approach those same people, they're going to say, oh, you're that disability kid. Didn't you tell us you don't have to do this because you have a disability? Or didn't you say you don't have to do this, or don't you have to do that? See, if you say something long enough, and then you try to flip it, you're going to hurt yourself in the process.
Yeah. And whatever you put out there is what comes back. Whether it's how you treat people or how you view the world or how you treat yourself. What the energy you put out in the world is the energy that comes back to you.
No, absolutely. And now the next question I was going to ask you, as I mentioned about disabilities and we talked about social media, now it's about the disabilities. Say I want to be a voiceover actor, or I want to be an actor, but I can write, but I can't spell. I'll give you an example. Let's say, okay, Carol, here's your script. You'd be like, oh, sure, no problem. But for me, it's like, okay, Keith, here's your script. I'd be like, like that. And for me, it's you have to go over 3 or 4 times, maybe 5. And I learned more. A lot of people make fun of me for this because they said it's like, it sounds perverted because I said, I learned hands-on. It's like, well, what do you mean you learn hands-on? First off, get your mind out of the gutter. That's not what I mean. I learned hands-on. It's like, okay, I'm going to sit with you, and we're going to explain it word by word, by sentence. And we're going to do it as slowly and simple that even a caveman can do it. So we can do it as simple as possible. I'll give you an example. When I do a test online, I ask, can someone sit with me and they read it to me? They say, okay, you're at a 4-way intersection. What do you do? Can you give me an example? And then it's like, okay, well, you're about to make, I don't know, grilled cheese, and you have to give them $1.50 back with plus out of 100. Can you give me an example? So I learned at a slower pace, and you have to break it down for me so I can understand it. For you, you can be like, here's a script, great, and because you can do laps around me. But for me, it's harder. But with that being said, it's not about me, it's about people with disabilities. Do you think the acting community, like SAG's Extra or New York Casting, do you think they will be lenient or a little more generous of giving people with special needs a little more help and say, okay, we're going to do this acting part? Or is it like pretty much a gun to your head saying, here's the part, read it, if you can't do it, get out of here? Because that's how it used to be.
I think it's a little bit of both. And I do know that there is, in the community of actors on a whole, as opposed to as compared to the general population, there is an unusually high number of dyslexics. Yeah. A lot of actors are dyslexic, so they have trouble reading. So that's something that a lot of actors deal with. I'm very lucky in that way. That is not something I deal with, so I don't know what it means in their career. But I do know that a lot of actors overcome that and manage to make it all work. Some jobs, some acting jobs definitely require that you can quickly read without a lot of preparation. Like sometimes I'm just getting a script cold and having to go in and audition for it or even maybe perform it right off the bat. A lot of the animation dubbing I've done, I get the script when I walk in the booth and there's a video going and I'm matching the video as I read the script. So that maybe is not something that would be what you would do, but you could do other things. Interestingly, the way you were talking about learning a written piece there is very much the way I learn. I think a lot of actors learn a role because you want to understand what every word means on every level, what it means to you emotionally, what's happening in the moment. So I go through, like for a play, I'll go through very, very slowly, phrase by phrase, word by word, feeling out all the circumstances around the world, all the all the colors and meanings and how it all links up and what's going on in the moment. So I break it down almost the way you were talking about in order to understand the part and what's really happening in the moment. So you already have a skill that applies directly to acting.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, how much work do you need to do to get interviewed? For an example, this is not about me, but I was actually, just tell you a quick story real fast. I was told I was not good enough to be interviewed by this news reporter. And they're like, oh, you don't have a story. I just told you the same thing I sent you, the message, I sent to her. It's like, that's not good enough to be interviewed. Really, I have ADD, HD, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I did 600 plus episodes. And it's like, oh, why don't you get interviewed locally? Well, I've been interviewed on Skype. I've been interviewed on radio. What I want right now is to be interviewed on TV. Well, it's really hard to do that. Funny. It's really hard, huh? Is that why there's so much messed up stories online, like saying about rape, murder, drug bust? Where apparently they didn't do a presentation saying they had to go to college and do all that stuff. But it's kind of like, you work in news. People want to hear an upbeat story. Like, Lassie shaved. Lassie saved this little girl from the waterfall. Or, hey, how this kid with disabilities, it's an inspiration for someone out there. Not, breaking news at 10, 2 gangbangers were arrested today for selling drugs. That's exactly right there. I do not watch the news because it's about rape, it's about murder, it's about stupid politics, and it's about all this negative garbage. And yet you have this positive story right here, and you're giving me the runaround saying, it's not good enough, or people don't care about that.
there are always people who are going to say no.
Yeah.
And there are always people who are going to not get what it is you're doing, no matter what it is. I mean, again, to relate it to acting, it's the dozens and hundreds, maybe whatever number of auditions we go on where they're just like, next, and they don't get it, or you're not right for that moment, or you're not right for that project. Whatever. Move on. So the less time you spend on the no frees you. The no makes you free to go to the next project. That woman's not interested. Maybe the next reporter will be. Or the next one, or the next one. It's like getting a book published. Oh, that publishing company isn't interested? Okay, on to the next one. People who, a lot of people who are highly successful have stacks and stacks and stacks of rejections that they have to get through to get their yes.
I agree with you. And every time someone says no to you, that's more motivation. I'll say, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Well, what's the what?
So it needs you to find the people who are your people. Like, all right, that woman is not... The less time spent on her, the better. Go and find the people who get you and who you get and who you want to work with and talk with.
No, absolutely. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to give you some acting pointers. Well, not pointers, but we can actually have fun with that.
Okay.
All right. Hang on.
Hi, I'm Taylor Kilgore.
Hello, I'm actress-producer Sandra Justice.
Hello, I'm Sakina.
Hey, I'm Allison Steele.
I'm Ann Wells.
Hey, I'm Carolyn Minton.
Hi, it's Mimi Chin.
This is Rebecca L. Mahan.
Hi guys, this is Danielle Claire.
Hi, I'm Devin Nelson.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Herrera.
Hi everyone, I'm Giovanna and
Hi, I'm Giovanni Espiritu.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Elizabeth Masters.
Hi everybody, my name is Jewel Colwell Bolt.
Hi, I'm Julia Brothers.
Hi, I'm Laura Saltman.
Hi, I'm Annika Skiva.
Hi, I'm Bailey Heath.
I'm Enchanter Shane.
My name's Amanda Corey.
Hi, I'm Megan Gillette.
And I'm Berkeley Pickle.
I'm Briley Williamson and
I'm Gabby Possible.
I think I'm Claire.
Hi, I'm Brigitte Kingsley.
And this is Dr. Christina.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline T.D. Huynh with Integrative Mind.
This is Jillian Michelle Johnston.
Hi, I'm Kelsa Kinsley.
I'm Carrie Zane.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Michelle Doherty.
Hey, I'm Laura Menino.
Hi, I'm Deborah Jensen.
I'm Linda Collins.
Hi, I'm Marissa Joy Davis.
This is Michelle Wong.
And I'm Nancy Rose.
My name is Brandy Hunt. And
hello, my name is Raven Nguyen.
Hi there, my name is Giovanna Vidal.
Hi, I'm Monica Thomas.
Hi, I'm Paisley Blackburn.
I'm Ashley Burgess.
Hi, my name is Jeanette Abney.
Hi, I'm Sharon Spank.
Hey, this is Samantha Moore.
Hi, I'm Melody Jones.
Hi, my name is Becky Yee.
Hi, you're watching the Keith Andrew Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Keith Andrew Network. And here is the beautiful and talented Carol Jacobanis. I just want to say thank you for sticking with us. What's the last 7 minutes in counting with her show? I'm going to pass it over to you. And as I said before we took a commercial break, we're going to talk about some voiceovers.
Okay.
You know, I said some pointers, but you're more an expert than I am. For me, I can do some impressions. You know, they're not great. But for people who want to do impressions, what words of wisdom can you tell us?
Actually, there's less call for impressions in voiceover than one might think. I mean, it's rare. Mostly, voiceover calls for you showing up as yourself and having a really honest voice that people can relate to, or inhabiting a character. So for commercial, it's really mostly you being your most honest, real self and having a real connection with whoever's listening. And for animation, by and large, you want to really inhabit a character. So something that you can relate to that is maybe a piece of you sort of exaggerated or projected in some way, and something that has a real point of view. So I've done witches and princesses and fairies and teachers of fairies and teachers of witches. That's my realm there. So I don't know if I would call that impressions, but it's more character. And I think there's more call for that in voiceover in general.
All right, well, not to put you on the spot, could you do some impressions if I gave you some voiceovers, if I gave you some lines?
Sure, we can try something.
All right, so I'm going to give you a line, and you can use any voice you want. For people who know, I'm a big fan of Dumbo. I love that stuff. I'm a loser. One of the lines in the movie Dumbo is like, gaining a little weight, aren't we, honey?
Gaining a little weight, aren't we, honey? I don't know. I mean, that's what the first thing that comes to mind. It's a sarcastic side jab kind of thing, you know.
I agree with you. And the other thing I was going to ask you, what does it mean to be slapstick funny?
Oh, slapstick funny. Slapstick is comedy that's very physical. It's a comedy of like Kramer on Seinfeld is brilliant slapstick. So it's harder to do. That's not so much a voiceover thing because it's usually very physical.
Right. Well, what you've done this for a long time. What were some of your favorite lines and voices that you did?
Sometimes do a Marilyn Monroe voice, which is a lot of fun, which maybe is on my mind because you said impressions. That's one I do sometimes do. And there's a character in Pokémon called Madam Muchmoney, who I had a lot of fun voicing. And there's a character on Winx Club that was the headmistress of the School for Witches, who was also a lot of fun to voice.
Could you give us some examples of what they sound like?
Well, Madam Muchmoney is a very wealthy older lady, and she had a precious little Snubble was her little pet. And oh, Snubble, it's so wonderful to see you again. That's Madam Muchmoney. Oh, Marilyn is very... Oh, this is Marilyn, your Food Lion shopping cart. Leaving already? I thought we had something in common. I like marmalade. You like marmalade.
Actually, it's kind of funny to mention that real fast. Do you believe in conspiracy theories?
Well, I have a close friend who refers to it as conspiracy history, and I more often than not take his word for it, so... Yeah, so it depends on what we're talking about.
Well, now we're talking about Marilyn Monroe real fast. Do you think, because the Kennedys had their way with her, do you think she knew too much or she saw too much? Do you think that's why they killed her?
Well, this is speculation, but sadly, a lot of Kennedy's mistresses were murdered, and I think that was probably true for her as well, yeah.
It's true. Not to go off subject, but like Princess Diana too. One of the biggest things were the Titanic. And Titanic was doomed from the start, a human error. It's a lot of things like that. I like the conspiracy theories or the what ifs. But it's like, for an example, what if the Titanic never sunk? Or what if 9/11 never happened? Or what if, for an example, the big one, what happened if Pearl Harbor was never attacked? And so there's so many different conspiracies or what if theories, and some of them can actually make you crazy. Saying, I don't know, I was going to say, what if Germany won World War II? Or what if, not to get off subject, but we can always say that for another time. But that's throwing it out there. But my last question for you is, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram?
All of the above. And you can find all of it on my website, which is www.caroljacobanis.com. And it's Carol, C-A-R-O-L. Jacobanis is J-A-C-O-B-A-N-I-S.
And my last question for you, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. About wrapping up, when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first honest opinion, and what was your first honest reaction, and what made you say yes? And do you have any regrets?
I'll do it backwards. No regrets. This has been a total pleasure. So nice meeting you. You're a wonderful interviewer, and it was a great conversation. I said yes because I thought, wow, how nice, somebody wants to reach out and speak to me about what I do. And on top of that, you have such a great mission and you express it so eloquently and so passionately. I thought, absolutely, that's something I want to be part of. And my first reaction was, wow, what? Somebody wants to interview me? Okay.
You know, a lot of people, I've been trying to enter a lot of group chats and make my own group chats. You know, like, hey, my name is Keith, this is what I'm doing, word from word, like I sent to you. And if people are like, what the hell am I reading? Or is this spam? Is this real? No, it's not. Here, you can even hear my voice. I am real. You know, and it's kind of like they don't care. So it's kind of like you get something out of the blue. You kind of figured, all right, we're going to look into it, make sure he's real, legit, and whatever. You know, you get Poke, make sure he's not like made of fluff. But, you know, it's really hard because today, I bet this happened to you. You get those robocalls.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, those things ruin things for people. Now, where you get spammers that spam you stuff, and it has to ruin it. So it ruins things for people and makes it harder. But when you give someone the benefit of the doubt, you're actually, you have nothing to lose.
Yeah. And potentially lots to gain.
Pretty much. Now, I do have a couple questions for you off the air. But wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I'm looking forward to part 2 down the road.
Pleasure being here. Thank you so much.